What's good, people? It's Kay, and today we're reacting to RWBY Volume 8, Chapter 1. Let's go! That was Cinder.
There.
Neo's just like, okay. If you say so. Is it really that serious though? This reminds me of the collector ship from Mass Effect 2. Oh, there she is.
My queen.
Gotta say it with the chest, Cinder.
Cinder. When I chose you as my vessel for the maidens, I put my trust in you. So I trust that you wouldn't possibly return to me empty-handed.
The relic of knowledge. I took it right from under Ironwood's nose.
Outsmarting the General speaks less to your intellect and more to his. After all, you were outsmarted by those children first.
And according to radio chatter, that same general and his forces outsmarted you. A shame Watts never made it back.
Just throwing shade
I'm afraid
all
the
over the
doctor
place.
was a necessary sacrifice. I do hope this little one doesn't become another.
Who is she?
Neapolitan
know?
has some very useful abilities and has proven to be a valuable asset.
You certainly do enjoy collecting assets.
Ooh!
Cinder.
You're here! I knew you'd come.
Quiet.
So devoted to someone so incompetent. While the good doctor and I were advancing the will of our goddess, dismembering the very body of this kingdom,
I have so much to say.
you were merely atoning for past failures.
Polendina's creation interfered with the transfer of the Winter Maiden power. But now I know she has it. And once I return to Atlas, it won't take long to finish what I started. That power will be mine.
I've given no such command.
Ma'am, now is the time to...
Seems like I'm reclaiming my time.
This game is not yours to win, Cinder. It's mine. Just because you're more valuable to me than a pawn does not make you a player.
Oof. She
Everything
said it.
is already in motion. All you need concern yourself with is your ability to act when I tell you to.
Of course.
How long is she gonna put up with that?
Without you, I am
I
nothing.
wonder. So dismissive.
Huh? Thank you.
Heads up.
This is the squad. Squad rolling in.
Need a lift?
Yeah, boy.
I was stupid to think the General would listen. Every choice I've made was the wrong one. And now...
We all did what we thought was best. I'm just glad you're all right.
Yeah, I see you.
Inside, hurry.
I know. Sector 3 is going to need the most help. I'm sending backup your way right now. Fiona, do you copy? We need transport from Sector 3 to the crater.
Copy.
With the once heroes, now fugitives on the run, Betty and Mantle were left to wonder what the future holds.
Aww. He was
When
expecting
we
a
heard
tackle.
you went off after Ironwood on your own, we...
How did you end up down in the slums?
It's a... long story.
You can say it.
I get the feeling there's been a few of those tonight.
You can say it. He shot you.
You're not going to tell them.
You and I aren't done talking yet.
Ooh.
Where's...
Get back in your box.
We don't know. Last we heard, he was with Robin, but...
All right. Your friend is back now. You ready to work? The largest Grim Horde ever seen is hovering over the tundra, and out there is a city full of people with no heat, and from what you told us, no more military protection. And while we're happy to give you guys a place to lie low for a while, it's time to get those people some help.
How? Ironwood is stopping all evacuations to Atlas, and we can't get them out of the city with Salem's forces surrounding us.
The crater, beneath Atlas. It's not safe, but it's warm. And with everyone in one place, we can do a better job protecting them. May can send you where you're needed most. We've got to get everyone down into that crater before nightfall. In the slums, we might have a chance.
We're never going to sleep again. I just know it.
Either you're helping, or you're baggage.
We need to get out there and do what we can for Mantle.
We need to do what we can for everyone. What about Amity? And telling the world about Salem? We can't do this alone. We need help.
Ruby's right. The Happy Huntresses are handling the evacuation better than we could. And there's a bigger picture.
But Amity isn't even finished. It was still under construction.
Doctor?
It's a bit of a
What
bit
would
of
you
an
need
issue.
to launch Amity now?
We made decent progress on construction and fuel collection. All potentially manageable, but, Amity was designed so that it couldn't launch itself without first being granted clearance from General Ironwood's terminal.
Another
Ruby,
problem.
There is no way Ironwood will cooperate with us.
But he doesn't have to. We just need the green light from his terminal, right?
You want to go back to the Academy?
Yeah, actually, there is more than one terminal. The one in his office and, one in the main Atlesian military compound at the base of the city. We'd have to get into the compound somehow, then, get inside the operations room, and then... Oh boy, I might need to think about this some more.
Well,
And
it's
just
as good
to
a plan
clarify,
as John's.
This is the easy option?
Any of John's.
What you're saying is it can't be done. It's pointless. And even if you got the message out, there's no guarantee help would come.
It's not pointless. Atlas is only Salem's current target. She's not hiding anymore, and once she's done here, she'll move on to the rest of Remnant. We need to warn them!
Ruby, when we came here, we said we'd follow your lead. But things haven't exactly worked out.
Damn. Mutiny.
There are people here who need us right now. That's something we can actually do.
But this isn't about just Atlas. Ruby's right. It's about all of Remnant. They need to know in Vacuo, in Mistral, in Vale, what's coming, so they can prepare.
Okay. Then let's go for both. Get Amity up and running and evacuate Mantle.
But that's how Salem got this far, by dividing us. We have to stick together.
No. What Salem wants is to turn us against each other. Just like this. John has a point. We can work separately and still be united.
Or let me take the relic to Salem. And maybe she will call off her attack on the kingdom.
That sounds like a terrible
idea. I don't think we
idea.
can trust Salem to actually do that. And the moment she uses the staff to create anything else, Atlas falls onto Mantle.
Nobody's turning you over to anybody. I think that's the one thing we could all agree on.
Okay, then I guess we're going to Atlas. Can you help us get to that terminal?
I suppose someone needs to help you bypass security.
I'll go.
Penny, we can't risk...
I'll go.
Do what you gotta do. I'm going out there to see what I could do.
Gang. Go by the pharmacy. I was developing some new tools for you all before this happened. You're gonna need them.
Nora?
I'm going with Ruby.
But what about Mantle?
Oh, I'm saving Mantle. Because I actually believe we can do this.
Hey, we're still united.
I hope so.
I can get Pietro out to Amity to prepare, but that doesn't answer how we're getting all of you up to Atlas.
I might actually have an idea for...
What's she about to say for once? Oh.
Hello, Penny. I'm worried for your safety.
She's so mad.
Tell me where you are, and I'll have you picked up right away. Atlas needs you, Penny. Salem is here.
She's not going anywhere until you change your mind about Mantle. There's still a chance for Remnant to
Mantle? You're still worried about Mantle? Remnant is doomed, Ruby. Unless we leave, Salem will destroy Atlas, and with it, any hope humanity has left. We need to think about the future. If she makes it through our defenses, everything that follows will be on your hands.
No pressure. Oh. Man. Ooh.
Sir, the prisoners have arrived. They're being processed in Stockade B.
Crow and Robin?
Could you give us the room, please?
I'll be fine.
Thank you, Winter. I don't know what I would do without you. No one has ever seen a Grim Force this large before. The city's hardlight shields will hold, but not forever.
What will you do, sir?
Wait, you can't be in here.
This is absurd! Let us through!
I
I am going to do everything I can to defend this kingdom.
What in God's name do you think you're doing, James?
No matter the cost.
And what's this about martial law?
Oh,
Have you
dear.
lost your damned mind? Are you that scared of what might...
Damn! Everyone's feeling the pressure.
I have questions for you. But first I need the one who can show me how. Bring him to me.
That's it. New intro time. Okay, so this first episode is primarily focused on establishing the new terms of engagement, which is to say that some of the choices made last season that weren't paid off will probably come back around this season. That would make sense if this is the last time we see Atlas for a while. And while I want to say that not much happened in this episode, I feel like I'm processing a lot of stuff. It's similar to how I felt about the first episode of Volume 5. Just trying to take it all in. But let's try to compress it and work through it. When I think about an episode of RWBY, I like to look for a through line. Sometimes it can be a theme or a feeling or even a common phrase. For this episode, I'm settling on the idea of convalescence or recovery. What happened at the end of the previous season represented the breaking of a lot of different things. So now we have the aftermath, the time when we feel sorry for ourselves before coming up with the next course of action. That is the convalescence. Only this time, it's not as simple as the aftermath of Beacon. Everyone here has been together for longer, had more complex circumstances thrown their way, they've grown more as individuals. The healing doesn't happen the same way as it did back then. Yang and Ren challenging RWBY's leadership comes from a place of feeling like a fresh perspective is needed. In particular, saying that it's more important to focus on what is directly confronting them, rather than continue investing in an idea that's already burned them once. And we've seen these differences before. It's why Yang and RWBY have become more emotionally distanced from each other as time has gone on. When they look at the same image, it's not too extreme to say that they're seeing different things. What I'm getting at is that all these group conflicts we see, whether it's between the squad or between the antagonists, these conflicts are divisions that have existed for the longest time. The squad succeeded in Volume 4 and 5 and 6. Those were all seasons that ended on a positive note for them, in one way or another. What we're seeing now with the squad are divisions that were already there, simply being exposed because Volume 7 ended their winning streak in a significant way. It's true in all competition, and it's true here. How you react to defeat sets the tone for how you attack the rematch. We just have to see whether or not the squad can get on the same page before their differences of feeling can have a major impact. Let's get to some observations. I like learning more about characters in general, and Cinder is no different. We've known for a while now that she came from nothing to having power and wanting more. So it was nice to see the link between the girl scrubbing the floor and her scratching that chair. Every time we learn something new about her, the stronger my feeling is that she'll try to do something at some point which Salem will certainly not approve of, and that scenario only goes one way or another. Throwing Neo into the mix of main antagonists is a bit of a wild card. I'm very curious to see how she might be involved going forward, especially as she doesn't seem to be too happy about Cinder basically making her look like a stooge. I like that we're still getting fresh looks here and there. Emerald, Mercury, Hazel, and Winter too. The squad and the rest of the Happy Huntresses are basically going into siege mode. RWBY wants to have another crack at Amity, while Yang wants to focus on the immediate challenge of repelling Salem's forces and protecting Mantle's evacuees. The various cuts from the bar scene to the team-ups outdoors were nicely handled. Why do I think Penny's idea of giving herself and the staff up to Salem might actually come to pass? It feels like true last resort stuff, but I don't think it's off the table. The dynamic of the Aesops will prove interesting as well, with all the differences that exist between them and the losses they've sustained. Why is one of Ironwood's sleeves shorter than the other? Of course, I'm not going to be the one to say that to him, what with how he's just drawing his gun on people at the drop of the hat. Oh, and it looks like he's off to interrogate Crow and Robin. So, in the midst of the group splitting up and Ironwood being Ironwood, Salem wants Oscar, the one who can show her how to use the lamp. In closing, Divide resets the chessboard against an increasingly bleak backdrop. While the squad is still trying to find ways to fight back together and apart, there can be no denying the pressure that Salem's arrival has brought upon them. While we do get some new plot directions and objectives, this episode is interested mostly in showing how this season might choose to exploit long-existing relationship dynamics in the challenging, wider context of an immediate threat. There's a lot more to come for sure, but this is a solid way to build a new set of expectations. Those are my thoughts on Volume 8, Chapter 1. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.